right? And I said something very controversial. I said, listen, if a guy's out of shape and he's having mental health issues because of it, he deserves it. So first and foremost, bro, congratulations. Your weight loss transformation looks phenomenal. I know that the physical change is one thing, but I can only imagine the mental and emotional transformation is just as drastic. So talk to me a little bit about where you were in life that led to, that led you to gaining so much weight and being at that place where you're like, yo, listen, I got to do something about this.
It all started during COVID. We were all working remotely, and I acquired a lot of bad habits during working remotely, which was, eating chips at night, oversleeping, just overall bad habits. And I was overall being a poor leader to my family as well. And during that time, I had gained so much weight that I got diagnosed with sleep apnea. That was the first sign for me to start making a change.
So prior to COVID, were you overweight, or did you put that weight on, that 60 pounds that you lost, did you put it on during COVID?
I've always been pretty big. I've never been like a six-pack lean type of guy. I want to say maybe I was around like 220 before COVID, and then after COVID, I must have been like 240, 250. Mm-hmm. I gained around 20 to 30 pounds for sure.
So talk to me about the mental experience of gaining that weight and where you were mentally and emotionally at your heaviest.
I was not active on social, that's for sure, because I wasn't comfortable with my body. And I used to be very confident, but I lost my confidence throughout gaining on that weight. People were treating me different. People were speaking me different. I feel like I was losing respect because of the way that I was looking and the way that I carried myself. And, throughout that process, it became evident that I had to do a change, right? And it was affecting me emotionally because it was affecting my relationships with my children, with my wife, with my friends, and I did not like that feeling.
When you said you started losing respect, do you feel like you were losing respect for yourself as well? Do you feel like you were aware of that?
At the time, I wasn't aware of that. I think when I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, that's when I started being more self-aware, because it's one of those things, right, where you're married, you have kids, you let go, you stop caring. And, when I got diagnosed with that health issue and I started feeling I was losing respect for my family, I looked at the mirror and started losing respect for myself as well. I wasn't happy with myself. Like, what happened to the old Jeff that got that girl in the first place, right? And that Jeff was gone, and it was time for a rebirth, man. And that was when I started the fitness journey. Real quick, guys,
I'm able to provide you guys these free life-changing videos because of the support of my sponsors. And today's sponsor is one of my favorites, Teach Hanley. And I say Teach Hanley is one of my favorite sponsors because they literally have changed my life. I've been using Teach Hanley products now for years, maybe 3 or 4 years now, give or take. And before I started working with Teach Hanley, I had no skincare routine at all. I started with the level 1 system. I think everyone should start with that system because it has everything you need. It has an AM moisturizer, which, by the way, has an SPF that helps protect your skin from the sun. It has a PM moisturizer. It has a daily face wash, and it has an exfoliating scrub that you use a few times a week. The system is brilliant because they make it mindless. And for men like me, we need that, right? They give you the instructions. They provide you this card. And in this card, it breaks down every detail of the routine. So you don't have to think much, you just follow the instructions. So Teach Hanley has a brand new offer. They're actually offering 30% off for your first order. And once you become a member, you get 20% off for life. And you get to choose between 2 free gifts. This really cool silicone body scrubber or the nail and face grooming kit. Now, personally, I already had a nail kit, even though this one is real sexy. If I had to choose, I would go with this one personally. There's something different about scrubbing your body because when I tell you, your skin feels a different type of clean when it's being scrubbed by this thing. Listen, do not procrastinate. Take advantage of this offer right now. The link is in the description. Thank you, Teach Hanley, for sponsoring today's video. When you got diagnosed with the sleep apnea, because I think that's a common thing. Like, it's not until we have a threat to our health or our livelihood in some way that we kind of wake up. What was your first step right? What was the first step you took once you realized, man, I got to get this under control? What was the first action you took?
Yeah, so at the time I was living in California. I was going through a transition from moving to California to North Carolina, which is where I live now. And my first item of action was to start moving again. You know, things were opening up, so I joined a CrossFit gym, joined a community, and I started my journey there. So I did that for 2 years, and I remember getting up at 5 in the morning consistently and never getting results, you know. And I remember one time I got injured, and I fainted a couple times, and I remember being rushed to the ER with my family and being in a room with the nurse and the doctor. I remember being in excruciating pain. I had to mess up my ankle because I tried to lift like 295 pounds, and they had to inject me with a pain reliever, and as soon as that needle touched my skin, I fainted again. And I remember seeing all white and echoes in the background, and I hear my daughter crying, like, what's going on with my dad? You know, is he gonna die? And I remember my heart breaking, hearing my little girl thinking that her dad was gone. And you know, at that time I had only lost 20 pounds in 2 years. What did I do wrong? You know, I didn't get the right macros, right? I wasn't educated in macros. I wasn't educated in the proper nutrition, and I was just working my ass off at the gym for nothing. I worked so hard. When I woke up, I wanted to do two things, and one of the things was, you know, I wanted to be healthy, and I had to find a solution. The second thing was hiring a mentor, coach, and eventually I got in a program. And 3 months later, man, I lost 40 pounds in 3 months because I did everything the way it was supposed to be done. I wasn't being prideful and not getting help. Like, I put my pride to the side. I got some help. I got the right guidance because I made the world of difference for me.
Yeah. So yeah, community provides accountability. It provides, I mean, what did they say? You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with most. As cliche as it sounds, it couldn't be more true. So obviously it helps when you have your partner on board and when you have access to people who are pretty much going in the same direction as you, right? It's such a huge asset. But a lot of us, right, minority, whether it's Hispanic or Black folks, when we start to pursue bettering ourselves, a lot of the times the people in our lives and our families, they wanted to start talking shit. You know, they have their little slick remarks. So it's like a lot of us, we don't have the support system at home. So it's important for us to be intentional about seeking it. Like, yo, let's go out and tap in with a community. And that's why I created a community like that, right? It's called the We Are God's group coaching program. Okay. And it's designed for that specific reason. It's to provide people with a family, a safe space to kind of just share everything that you're experiencing in this journey, right? And for them to leverage the wisdom that I've accrued from making the mistakes. I don't want everyone to make the mistakes that I had to make, right? So the importance of community is huge. All right, so talk to me about how you broke your addiction to these junk foods that you formed that habit during COVID. Like, what was that transitional period like? Yeah,
I definitely had addiction in snacking. I think one of my favorite things was, at least in California, there's this place called 7-Eleven, and I used to get a bag of hot Cheetos, and I used to put like nacho cheese on it. That was my go-to. So bad for you. So I would say that was probably the toughest thing to let go. But again, nowadays, there's replacements for everything. There is delicious, healthy snacks nowadays, whether it's pancakes, I'm a big fan of oatmeals with protein powder. Like, I know a lot of people in the fitness industry say eat whole foods, but I'm doing everything I can to just keep up with the program, right? So I think it's, again, being prepared. And what it forced me to do, this process, was get creative. Cooking, baking. Again, there's a bunch of content out there on TikTok and Instagram, resources that you can use. There's literally no excuse anymore. Like, you can eat delicious and healthy.
So what's some of your go-to snack replacements, man? Because I know a lot of people struggle with that. What's some of your go-tos?
So my go-to, I travel a lot. So I actually have a daytime job, so I'm traveling all over the place all the time. And going back to preparedness, you know, the first thing that I do at the airport is I'll grab my protein bars, you know, Quest bars, anything of that sort. So those are delicious, they're quick, high in protein. At home, I really enjoy oatmeals, for like low carb stuff. I'll do the strawberries with a little bit of honey. And quench my hunger. For me, when you're eating appropriate protein, it's quenching hunger too. So you're not as hungry as you are, because as I understand it, you eat garbage, then you're going to be hungry more frequently. If you eat the way you're supposed to be eating, you'll be hungry less frequently, and you just have a better relationship with food. Because honestly, the reasons why I was eating junk food was because I just wanted that feeling of comfort, that instant gratification, right? And part of self-development, which is the way that I see fitness, is you're practicing delayed gratification, whether it's fasting, whether it's, like I'm in a sales call, so I'm going to go ahead and eat after the sales call. I'm not going to be snacking during or before. And just constantly challenging yourself all the time, because what you're doing is, again, you're not just transforming your body, you're transforming your mind. So when you conquer this, everything just aligns. I mean, it's literally incredible.
Yeah, that concept of delayed gratification, man, I tried to put people on, because that's a muscle. Right? The ability to delay gratification is a mental muscle that you can take every opportunity, like you just described. Hey, I want a snack right now, but you know what? I'm going to put it off until after the call. Just that decision strengthens that mental muscle that makes delayed gratification more of a habit for you. And I think as a man, I mean, all we're basically talking about is just discipline, the ability to choose your behaviors and not allow like your cravings to control what you do.
Comfort, right? I think as a man, you need to constantly feel uncomfortable on purpose. Like that should be your plan, whether it's something small, taking a cold shower, doing that extra 5 minutes in cardio, man, that accumulates during your journey. And that's one of the reasons why I was able to lose 55 pounds, because I was able to accumulate that from the beginning. It was compound interest.
You're speaking my language, bro. You're saying all of the things that I tried to explain to people, man. And it's a moment by moment choice. And when you understand these concepts, when you understand how powerful it is to push yourself an additional 3 minutes after you completed your cardio session, what that does for your confidence, what that does for your willpower, right? It's literally strengthening the mental muscles that makes anything possible for you, so
limiting belief too. It's like, I thought I was only able to do 8 reps, but I was able to do 2 to 3. What that does to your confidence is insane, because you feel like, man, I can do anything. That pours into other aspects in your life, whether it's your relationship.
1000%.
Exactly. So it's a beautiful thing, guys. Try it.
No, sure. Absolutely. And it's literally as simple as it sounds, right? It's taking every opportunity to where your mind is trying to tell you to quit at whatever it is you can be doing. I mean, this can be if you're reading a book, or if you're doing deadlifts. The principle applies here is to try your best to push yourself a little bit beyond your limits as often as you possibly can. And like you said, it translates to everything you do. You become way more confident because you start to experience achieving things that you didn't think were possible. And that is like, it opens your mind, right? It changes you.
It really does. And what I say, if you're able to gain confidence individually, like it comes internally opposed to externally, that's huge, man. Because I could be running a meeting in a muscle shirt, I'll be fine because the confidence within, because I put in the work, right? When you put in the work, man, you walk into a room, it's energy. People feel energy.
And what people don't understand is it's not that you feel confident because obviously it's because you look good, right? Aesthetically, but it's deeper than that, right? It's deeper than that. It's because what this physique shows the room is that I am a man that keeps promises to myself. I am a man who has discipline. I am a man who can do hard things. And with you knowing that about yourself, right? Obviously, the physique is just the external manifestation of that. But it's more about what you know about yourself. And like you said, in those moments where you push past any sort of limitations that you thought were there, it turns you into an absolute beast. And that you show up with that energy on sales calls, you know, and on dates, in the gym, with your children, at Walmart, like it just translates to everything, bro. So yeah, that's.
And going back to what I said earlier in the call, when I was feeling like I was losing respect from people, it was because how I was carrying myself. You see me from a distance, you already can tell this guy has bad habits. You see me now, it's like this guy has good habits. He shows himself. It's energy. You shake the hand, you see the bicep. It's all good. You gain this respect from people, and it's. My mentor always says it's you know, you're living a movie, like you're the main character, you know, like create the man that you want to be, and you just live through that.
I like to tell men like your appearance, your body is your resume. It tells a story about you. It tells a story about you to the world. So someone asked me the other day about body positivity and men feeling, you know, having mental health issues when they're out of shape, right? And I said something very controversial. I said, listen, if a guy's out of shape and he's having mental health issues because of it, he deserves it. Now stay with me here, right? Because I think on a primal level, when a man is not capable of protecting his family. Like I use the example of if someone was to snatch your wife's purse and you're overweight, you can't run a half a block without passing out. Of course you're gonna feel terrible about that. You're gonna feel bad. You're not, because you're primally not equipped to fulfill your role as the protector and provider for your family. So you should feel bad about that. But this is one of the type of, you know, controversial ways to think about this, man, but it's so real. It's such a primal thing here we're talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy. I agree with you for the most part. It's one of those things where I was only able to see it from that perspective after my transformation. It's one of those things where you've been doing habits for so long that you just don't know what's going on. You're clueless. But from an exterior perspective now, I can see that a lot of people need help. And that's one of the reasons why you have to look for guidance. Like if Brix has the results that you want and he lives the life that you want, you need to talk to Brix and join his community. You know, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's what happened to me. Like I was selective with my coach. Like he's doing what I want to do. So therefore, something grows within you and you just take action. Now that first step is the hardest, right? To actually take action. What I hate the most is that people wait until they hit rock bottom to do it, unfortunately. Whether it's a breakup, whether it's declining health, whether it's whatever, right? Like I wish we had the ability to be able to take action even when things weren't in the worst circumstances. I think that would be a powerful thing for people to have the ability to do that.
But that's not often the case, man. That wasn't the case for me. That wasn't the case for you. That's a big part of the vision for me too, is to figure out how to get people to wake up before they hit rock bottom. But until then, we just got to be there to pick them up once they hit the floor, man. Because so where can people follow you on social media?
My last name's kind of unique, but it's Jefferson, Pichinte. And then also have Jefferson Fitness as well if you want to follow my journey. Okay,
so I will have that information in the description below. Hey Jefferson, I want to thank you for your time, for sharing your story. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are inspired, and people need to see that it's not just me. You know, like my audience needs to see it's not just me who are making these drastic transformations. Man, you look amazing. Keep up the good work, and let me know if there's any way I can help you in anything that you got going on, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me, and we'll talk soon, Brix.
Yes, sir.